Hello, this video will provide an overview for faculty on how to create videos in YuJa. YuJa is a video creation and hosting platform allowing faculty to not only create the videos, but host the videos on their own unique channel within their YuJa account. Faculty can create these videos inside or outside of D2L. If they are going to be using the videos or creating the videos outside of D2L, they would want to log in to the direct link to YuJa, which is gordonstate.yuja.com. And they'll do that using their Gordon email username and password for the single sign-on. When creating and hosting these videos, video analytics are available for the videos, so the faculty member is able to see how much of the video each student has watched. They're also able to add in different types of quizzes. Specifically, they can add in content quizzes, which ask the students questions, multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, those type things. Or they can include playback quizzes, which are a grade that will be populated over into the D2L gradebook, but it will be based upon how much of the video the student has watched. Faculty, staff, and students can actually create these videos. Faculty have the ability to pull in the link using the integration within D2L. Staff and students who don't have that access in D2L would have to use the direct link from YuJa, but they are able to create the same videos and link them in. If you're using YuJa outside of D2L, you would just want to navigate to the link and over in the corner, choose Gordon State College Single Sign-On and log in with your Gordon email username and password. If you are using YuJa inside of Brightspace by D2L, you'd want to navigate to your course, choose Tools and Resources, and then YuJa Media Library. From there, you're going to open up your Media Library, which is where all your videos will be linked. Here you can see that I have several videos either created myself or pulled in from YouTube. So in this case, I'm actually going to want to create my own video. So here I'm going to choose Create Recording. From here I can choose the two different types of recorders. You have the downloaded recorder, which is fully featured, but then you also have the browser capture recorder, which is less fully featured but easier to use because it just opens up in a browser. It does not require a download. This one, the fully featured one, does actually require a full download. So just for the purpose of making this video, I'm just going to use the browser capture, which is a light version, but it still pretty much covers everything that you would want to do or need to do. I'll then give my recording a title, and then I'll choose Start. Now it's going to open up the Browser Capture Studio, and keep in mind this is using the browser, which is the light version. If you had selected the other, it would prompt you to download and it would open up as an application on your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and allow for it to pull my camera and pull my microphone so that I can use this when doing my recording. So over on the side, you have different options for your recording. You have the ability to record your camera, which is just your webcam, a recording of yourself. You have the ability to record just your screen. So in that case, I want to make sure to select the screen I would like to record. I have multiple screens on this particular computer, so I can allow for it to record my screen, or I can actually choose to record both. And so in that case, it's going to record me as a thread or as a stream option, and then it's going to record my actual screen, which can be whatever I pulled up on that screen, as a second stream. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to record both so that you can see it. Next, I want to make sure that I have selected my audio, that audio is on, and I want to make sure that I'm picking the microphone that I would like to use. It is preferred that if you have a headset with a microphone on it, which is what I'm using, it will probably give you better audio quality. If not, you can use your webcam to do a recording, but just make sure that you have the correct one picked. Same thing with your video option. Some of you may have multiple video inputs, maybe an external webcam or an internal webcam. You just want to pick the one that you want to use there. So once we have this ready, we're going to choose to start recording. All right, so I've started my recording. So this particular screen is just I've pulled up a PowerPoint, so I can choose to start it from beginning, and then it's just going to show my PowerPoint, and I would just talk through it very much like a voiceover PowerPoint, go through my different slides. Notice here that it's counting the video. It's showing how much of how long I've recorded. Now in the browser version of the capture, it does not have a pause button. Just keep in mind that when you press this, it's actually going to end the recording for you. So often what you might do if you're using the browser recorder is if you do mess up, or you know that you're going to want to cut something out of the video because you can't actually edit it in a little bit, you might just pause and stop talking for a second, and then you'll be able to find that in your video editor and then just trim that part out. So I have recorded on top of this PowerPoint, but keep in mind I can record on top of multiple things. Anything that is on your screen will be recorded, and you can also see here actually on the recorder that it's showing it. So I can pull up a web page, a Word document, a PDF, a PowerPoint, a specialized software maybe that I want to show the students how to use. So anything that I pull up here and walk myself through is going to be recorded in my video. So when I'm finished recording, I'm just going to press End Recording, and it's going to allow me to see it, and then I'm going to choose to upload it into my YuJa media library. I do want to wait until it gets fully across here with the blue, so it tells me that my upload is finished, and there I can exit out of this browser and return to my main media library. Notice that it is doing the recording and it is processing it. It does take a couple of minutes to do that, so you may want to go and do something else or edit another one of your videos, but it does take just a couple of minutes for it to actually record into the in your YuJa media library. So while we're waiting for that one, I'll go ahead and create a new recording, and I'll just do this one as a one screen so that you can kind of see what it looks like if you only have one screen and you're doing a recording. It does look a little bit different than if you have multiple screens. So this is all the same. I'm choosing my camera, I'm choosing my screen, I'm choosing both, I'm allowing for the different options. So in this case, I'm going to pick the actual screen that I'm currently using so that you'll be able to see how that looks. So I'm going to pick screen 1 here. So notice when I'm recording on top of the screen that I'm actually have YuJa pulled up on, which is going to be typical if you have a one screen computer, like if you're just using a laptop or something. You're going to see this, and this lets you know that you are sharing your screen. You kind of have a screen within a screen within a screen within a screen. And so that lets you know that you are sharing your screen. So at that point, I would choose to start recording. And I'm seeing again a screen within a screen within a screen, which is fine. Now I'm doing my recording, and then I would just open up on my computer whatever I want to share my screen. So as I'm recording in this regard, I'm only seeing my screen that I'm recording on. I'm not actually seeing my own webcam or seeing my own recording because I'm just on that one screen. So then once I'm done, I can just minimize that, and then I would stop the recording. So we'll see in the playback how it kind of looks, and you'll be able to see that while I didn't see it while I was recording, at some point it was actually just recording my screen. So when you see that screen within screen within screen within screen, when you're sharing your screen on just one particular, if you only have a one screen device, that is the correct view that you are wanting to see. So I'll choose to upload this one just so that you can see the process again. It's going to upload very quickly, but it does take a little bit longer to actually process in YuJa. So both of those are processing. Once they get done processing, you have the ability to edit the video as well as see different options here to add a playback quiz or add a content quiz or all of those different things. If you hover over one of the tiles of your video, you'll see that once it has finished producing, you have a lot more options versus while it's processing you don't have nearly as many. So once it's finished processing, you'll see the thumbnail, and you can actually go in there and do your different components of your video. So let's say that we wanted to trim our video. There were parts of our recording that we wanted to cut out. So you can do that under Edit. When you choose Edit, it's actually going to open the video editor, and here we can do our trimming, and we can do a couple of extra things within our video that we just recorded. So if you notice here, we actually have three streams going. We have our webcam recording, we have our screen recording, and we have our audio recording, which that's what those blue lines are, is my voice actually speaking on the recorder. If we had only used one stream, maybe we only recorded the screen and didn't record our video, then we would only see two of those here. So say that we wanted to trim our video. So like right here, if you notice, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of speaking going on because there is no voice lines here. So maybe I wanted to cut that part of the video out. So I would move my playhead to that area. I would choose the trim button here, the cut feature, and then I would just pull it out, and whatever is in gray is going to be the part that's cut out of the video once I save it. I might want to cut a different section, so I may want to also cut this. So I could choose that, cut, slide it over, and then both of these sections would be cut out. So that's a common thing that you would probably do in your videos. Another common thing that you may consider is adding in indexes. So we'll choose this area here. Now keep in mind it does have to be put on advanced mode. If it's not on advanced mode, you're not going to see those other options here on the side. So we'll slide advanced mode on and then choose the indexes. And this is almost like bookmarks, to where after the student watches the video, they might choose to rewatch the video and jump to specific parts of the video just to kind of review. So that may be helpful for them to have those bookmarks. So we would come here and we would just place our cursor where we would like for the index to be added, and then we would choose add an index, and then I can title that index. So I might say intro to YuJa here, and then I would maybe move my cursor to another slide or another area of the video and say, okay, well at this point I would like to add an index, and here we're going to be looking at X, Y, and Z. A great example of this is if you're making a video and you're talking about different topics. You might have a topic area for, if you're, for example, talking about the anatomy of the body in one particular video, and you talk about the heart at a particular section, the lungs at a particular section, the intestines at a particular section, you might have different parts of it. Or if you're doing kind of a book review and you're talking about the characters and the plot and then the theme, you might add indexes to where you're talking about those particular subtopics within your video, so that the student can jump to just those particular parts of the video. Under captions, you have the ability to add in your own captions, but keep in mind that by default, all of your videos that you create will be auto-captioned by YuJa, and you will actually get an email from YuJa saying when those captions have been produced and auto-created for you. You can go back in and edit them if you want to, but you probably don't want to or need to create your own captions. So there's other options here, but for the most part, you're just going to trim your video and add in those indexes if you want. Then we're going to save. And then notice we can rename this video. By default, it's going to name it the title and then edited at the end, so that it does give it a different name, which is very helpful to know that this was the video that was edited. You can choose to replace it, so the original video will get overwritten by this edit, or you can choose to save it as a new video. I would encourage you to save it as a new video with edited on the end, just in case you do ever need to revert back or edit the original again. So I'm going to leave it with edited at the end and save as a new video. So as I do that, it's actually going to have to reproduce the video, so it will take a second for those for it to process and that to take effect. But as I return to the media library, notice that I have my edited video with edited on the end being produced, and I still have my original available. So now, before we start talking about quizzes, let's look at a couple of more settings here. So to get to more of the settings other than these quick links, we can choose more. And then over on the side, once it has fully produced, we have some additional information. So we can rename the video if we want to. We can actually link documents to this video, such as the native PowerPoint itself. If we want that to be connected to the video, I can actually add it as a document. Under thumbnails, I can pick the thumbnail I would like to be as part of the thumbnail for my video, or I could actually upload a custom one if I want. Under actions, the main thing that you would do here is you can choose to move the media to a particular folder. You can also choose to duplicate that media, which is just making an exact copy of it. Maybe if you want to do an edit on it, or you would like to add a different quiz to a certain video but don't want to edit the video itself, you have that option. And then you have links. Now the links this is going to be the outside link that you would use if you're using YuJa in the videos outside of Brightspace by D2L. So this is going to give you the direct link to the video. Now if you add in quizzes, you're going to actually get a separate link for those quizzes, so that if you use the quiz link, it's going to give them the video with the quiz embedded in. Under links, you're just going to get the native link without the quiz embedded in. So that's available to you, as well as you can always download the video mainly as an MP4 so that you can have access to it offline. You can choose to add in the ability to add in comments to your video. You can have it to where everyone can see the comments and everyone can make the comments. If you don't want comments on your video, the students to add comments or you to add comments, you can just change both of them to content owner only, and then you just yourself, who's the content owner, not make any comments, and you can't and no one can see them or make them. So that may help as well, or you can just totally disable the commenting ability. Analytics is where you're going to be able to see who has watched your video. This is where you're going to get the data, and again, this is going to be data available whether or not you have a quiz built into the video or not. It's just whether they're using the direct link to the video or if they are using it built into D2L. You're going to be able to see how much of the video each person has watched. And then we have the quizzes feature, which we're going to go to in a second. We have two types of quizzes we can make. We can make the content quiz and we can make a playback quiz. We can actually make one of each for a particular video. In most cases, you're probably just going to have one or the other. The content video quiz, labeled as create video quiz, that's going to be where you actually add in real questions, multiple choice, true, false, that type of thing. The playback quiz is going to be the one where they are getting a grade based upon the percentage of the video that they have watched. And then lastly, we have the accessibility, where we can edit or look at our captioning. So for right now, we're just going to close this because that was just a general overview of the extra options. So now we're going to link the video into Brightspace by D2L, which are the steps a faculty member would take. After showing you that, I'll show you how to get the direct link that a staff member or a student might use, because keep in mind a staff member or a student is not able to access the instructor side of D2L. So again, we're starting here in our media library, and that's under tools and resources in YuJa media library. So now to embed this video in, and again, keep in mind that this is just a video. In this particular instance, we're not looking at a video with a quiz in it, which is actually embedded differently. We're just looking at, I want to put the video in. So as a faculty member, we'll come to the content area. We'll pick the module where we would like to put our video. And then we're going to choose Upload and Create. Then we're going to choose to create a file. And we'll give that file a name. We may name it YuJa video, something specific. And keep in mind, you can pull more than one YuJa video in to this HTML page, so it might be that you're putting in multiple videos. Then to pull the video in, we're going to choose this Insert Stuff option. And then we're going to choose YuJa Media Chooser. At this point, it's going to pull in our media chooser area, and we're going to notice that we have two different options. We have the media library as well as the quizzes library. So to pull in the video, with just the video and not any quiz questions in, because keeping in mind that in this particular video we're only looking and pulling the video, we want to make sure to filter under the media file. It may be that you have a video that is just the video itself, and you might actually have added quiz questions to it, and the quiz would be under here. So you could actually have the same video under media and under quizzes, but under quizzes it's got the quiz embedded into it. So you want to be careful as to the one that you're pulling in. And in this case, we're only looking at the video itself. We're not interested in one that has a quiz in it. We're just using the media tab. Keep in mind that we're choosing media here. We can also upload media natively from our computer in MP4. We can also pull in one from YouTube if we like to, or we can actually get to the recorder right here and record the content through the application itself or through the browser that we looked at earlier. You can get to it right here within YuJa as well. But for right now, we're just going to choose media that we already have. So we'll be able to click on that and then insert the content. and it will pull it right into D2L for us. And keep in mind that this is just for the video, not for any type of quiz. So we can actually insert multiple videos here if we want to. We can come right back in and then do insert stuff and then do YuJa media chooser, and we can potentially pick another video, just the media itself, or maybe one. We wouldn't want to pull in quizzes this way. We're only pulling in videos that do not have a quiz in this way. In this case, I'll show you very briefly. You may want to pull in a YouTube video of a video that already exists out there that you didn't create. And if it doesn't have a quiz in it, you just want to pull it in and be able to track the analytics of how much the student has viewed it. It's not going to create a grade item of any kind. Just like what you're doing with this video, you can actually do it here by under Upload Media, Link, and then YouTube. And then you would actually post in the link to the YouTube video. And then down below you have two different import options. The first one is going to be just linking your video to the YouTube link, and the second one is actually importing the video from YouTube. It is actually safer to choose the second one. You do have to agree that this is used for educational resources and educational content, but this is actually making a copy of the YouTube video into YuJa so that if the video ever gets taken off of YouTube, you still have it in YuJa. The other one just links to it, so this first option, if it is taken off of YouTube, it will break the link. So it's probably better to choose the second one. And then you would start that upload, and then it would actually upload here. You can click on it and then insert that content right within YuJa. And so that's a quick and easy way to pull in a YouTube video in addition to the videos that you create. And again, this is all being done without either of these having a quiz in them. So we're going to save and close. And now we have our videos embedded right in. So you can embed these videos in multiple places. It does not have to be in the content area. Anywhere you see that HTML editor, you're able to pull in these videos. So another place would be places like the announcements area. So I could come and create an announcement, and because I have this insert stuff area, I'm able to choose insert stuff and YouTube media chooser, and then be able to pick from my media library or upload from YouTube or upload a native MP4 if I haven't already, and embed that video in elsewhere. So I'm able to do that in pretty much anywhere I have that HTML editor. And some of the common places that you have this HTML editor is in the announcements area, in the content area. You have it when you're creating an assignment, a discussion. You could potentially put it in a quiz, as well as when you're putting in feedback for grades. There's also this insert stuff area. So basically anywhere this is linked in, the students will be tracked in their viewing analytics, and you'll be able to see this within your YuJa media library. So let's pretend that students have watched these videos and now we're wanting to go in and track their analytics. Before doing so, however, I want to show you a couple of ways the student might view the video. So when we're playing the video, if it has two streams like this one with the screen as well as the webcam, I'm able to move the webcam over. So in some cases, if the webcam is blocking some of the screen where there is text, the student can move it around as they're watching. They can also flip-flop it by making the main webcam feature larger than the secondary stream, which is the PowerPoint or screen that I'm reviewing, so they can flip that. Or they have different viewing options here to make them equal, or to make it just one screen and not even seeing the other, or to have it back to the main one. So they have different viewpoints as they like. They can also come here and make it full screen if they need to. Here are the closed caption options, so that when you're playing the video, the closed captions will be appearing. And then here you have the option of additional sidebar. So these are the indexes that we talked about earlier, where you can actually click on different bookmarks. The student could click on different bookmarks and jump to different parts of the video. They also have the ability to search different parts of the video. So in the search box, they can search a particular word. and it will pull any place in the video where that word is being stated or being recorded. So here I actually searched the word video, and there's different parts of the video that the student can click on and jump to, which is really helpful if you're looking for a key term or a vocabulary term or a specific character or something like that that they're trying to search for and wanting to review those particular pieces. They can search that word or topic right there. So now let's go in and view our analytics. So as the instructor, I would want to go back to the media library. So tools and resources, YuJa media library. And then I'm going to find the video where I would like to view the analytics. So I'll hover over the thumbnail, I'll choose more, and then over here on the side, I'll be able to view analytics. So you might want to choose more to expand this out to look more at the specifics, but here under summary, we're able to see what parts of the video that they watched. So here we can see a lot of people started out watching the video, but then a lot of them stopped watching the video. Here we can see that there are 30 views at the beginning mark, but by the 10-second mark, only 2 people had lasted and continued to watch the video. Here we can see that there are 18 total views, 4 unique views, meaning that 4 unique users. So these 4 are watching it, potentially several times each. The total play length as well as the play percentage that someone has managed to get to. So someone has watched the entire video. So this again is summary information, but if we go to playback, we're able to see specifics. So we see all these specific users. We see their total number of views for that particular video, their total play time, their total percentage watched, as well as when they first watched it and when they last watched it. For some of these, we see it's the same day. For some of these, we see that they've watched it once and then they've come back and watched it at a different time. We can also view a graph specifically for that one student to be able to view their different data. Also maybe interesting is looking at the technology. We're able to see what browser your students are using as well as what system they are using to watch the videos. If you really want to get into specifics, you can choose sessions and it will show you each individual viewing session. The student, when it was open, how much they watched in that particular session, the system that they used, the browser that they used, and the location where they were, which is going to be generic. It's going to tell you generally Georgia. So this will be specific for each instant. So that is how you can view your analytics. Keep in mind that this is different than viewing your quiz results because the videos that we've looked at thus far in this particular video do not have quizzes. If you're interested in adding quiz questions and having those talk to the D2L gradebook, you want to refer to a different video. So at this point, the videos that we pulled in the content area or in the announcement area or whatnot using upload and create and create a file, they are not talking to the D2L gradebook. A grade is not coming over. So let's say that we are not a faculty member, we are a staff member or a student, that I've created as a student a video presentation in YuJa and I want to be able to include that and post that into my course. So how would I access the link to my video knowing that I can't pull it in using any of these create a link or upload a file type things? So students actually have very similar access to their own media library. So they would go to Tools and Resources, YuJa Media Library. Now instead of seeing the videos that you created as the faculty member, they would see the videos that they created as students, which they may or may not use as often as faculty members. But let's say that they do have a video that they have created and they would like to place that link in. So they would just come to the video that they've created, they'll choose More, and then they'll choose links, and then they'll be able to get that direct link. And this is the link that they're going to place into Brightspace by D2L or email or wherever you're having them submit their link to. This is the link that they're going to use. Now they can put in some security settings if they want to kind of prevent just the entire population from seeing their video. It is probably important that they leave it on public. They can make it password restricted if they want to. And in that case, they can require that a person use single sign-on to be able to view the video, and that would just have them log in with their Gordon email username and password to view the video, or they could just put in a simple password themselves. That's the main one that a student would probably use, or if a faculty member wanted to use it outside of D2L, that they would probably use. There are more options, but they do get very specific, things like location restriction, things like IP address restriction. You could put in a date restriction if you wanted it to only be viewable at a certain day or time, but for the most part, just to be on the safe side, to not block people out of seeing it, the student as well as the faculty member, if they happen to use it this way, or the staff member, would want to leave it on public and either choose to use the single sign-on or the simple password. So we'll just use single sign-on for now and save that. And then we're just going to get that direct link like we had from earlier. So just this direct link. And we're going to save that. And now we're just going to post that link like you would a regular link in Brightspace by D2L. So in that case, I'm just going to go to the discussion area. Now it might not be necessarily the discussion area where they're posting it, but they would just paste in their link. Notice that it'll say gordonstate.yuja.com, which is what they're wanting to see. And then they would post in that link. Now, as a viewer of that video, when I click on that link, I'll be taken to this page, and since sign-on is required, I would just want to make sure to choose Gordon State College single sign-on credentials. I would authenticate in. It would ask me to log in with my Gordon email username and password. And it would take me in to be able to view the video. Remember the moving around of the video, the flip-flopping viewpoints, as well as the captions and the searching of the videos would all be in place. The only difference is instead of pulling it into the D2L, they're using the direct link. So that is how a faculty, staff, or student can create a video as well as pull it into Brightspace by D2L or use the direct link. And keep in mind, all of these instructions are based upon a video that does not include a quiz.